Hi everyone, welcome back to Christopher's Models and Dioramas. Well, the trees are cured. They turned out really nice, I like to think. And the last video I talked about how I was going to show you to placing the ground effect as well as placing the trees. Now the way I do that is I trace out where I want everything to go. And I usually just take a piece of run-of-the-mill everyday paper and I put that over my build and I draw it around it. Like I just did that. Just a simple everyday sketch. And then I'll take and mash it down and I'll give like low spots here. Like there's one here and here too as well. And I'll just simply put LS on these for low spots. Then I'll take my figure, which in this case is the deer, and I figured out I'm going to place it near the edge of the water. Like that. Doesn't have to be exactly how you're going to do it. Now you can do this with like any kind of armor or vehicle or any other animal. And I'll just mark where the feet are going to be. Now the reason why I'm doing this is so I will have a reference of exactly where everything's going to be. Now, because there's this water line on this, which extends to right even with this line here, I'm going to put a WL water line. That way I'll know where that's going to be. And I can mark that. Then I'm going to set my build to the side using my deer as a reference. I'm going to take my trees and then I'm going to experiment. Now a lot of people do this. I don't know if a lot of people do this, but that's how I usually do it. Now I also want to use simple symbols, letters, initials for things like TL. For TL for like oh goodness, not TL, but TG for tall grass, LG for like whatever abbreviation you want to use, like for dead log, and mark it out here. But where I want my trees to be, I will always put T1, T2, T3, or T4. And then around the base of the tree, I'll take a little piece of paper and I'll wrap around the edge of it. And the tree that I want in this particular spot is where it will go. And that's a lot of builders that I know of will do that. And if you have any boulders, handmade boulders, which I made this, it's just plaster that I repainted. It's from a chip. And I'll put this on here as well where I want it to go. And this is my reference. I have my piece of paper that I need for a reference. Then I can set it off to the side and I can start my build. Now as for applying the flocking that I need for this, it's the same stuff I used to make the trees with, like I said, but get my figure up out of the way because I definitely don't want any spray glue on that for the bushes. Now I have where I want my trees marked out on that. Then I can just go back, put that right there in front of me, and I can mark where I want a tree by drawing on it, occasionally placing the deer right back where I want it, because I don't want the deer to hide any of the detail. I don't want the deer to be the total main focus. When you build something like this, you want it to be where people are going to look just not at the figure, but the entirety of it. Because dioramas sort of tell a story. And you go to a museum, or you'll see these great big dioramas of villages and ships on the oceans and everything. And it gives a brief history of this deer. I'm trying to paint a picture, something like you might see this thing hanging on a wall, but you know, basically in almost a third dimensional here. So mark out where I want each one of my trees, and tall grass, like I did on there. And then I'll take a small drill, or any kind of sharp tool you want, and I'll just drill that out. I have it marked like that. Now, as for putting on the flocking or the ground effects, move the deer out of the way. Remember, you're going to wear a mask on this. Get a nice healthy spray here. And I want to just lightly hit this like that. Wave away the fumes. Same stuff I used to make the tops of the trees with. Move it up a little bit. And just sprinkle it on. Now you're going to do 3 or 4 passes on this. It's not uncommon. You're going to have to. But this mixture that I use is such an easy stuff to use that you don't have to worry about it blowing away and making a complete mess out of everything. Any bare spots you have, you can later come back over and do a little touch up with it like that. With something like to make, like I said, the tall grass like that. Which I'll show you how to make the tall grass here later in an upcoming video. It'll be a short one. And there you go. Just around the edges. You're going to take it, give it a shake. So you're going to get a short coverage like that. Scoop it back up and go at it again. Scoop it to the side. Remember, you can get a little bit messy here. Set it down while the glue is still nice and wet. And there you go. Got a nice beginning cover leverage of it. I'll let this dry for a little bit. And when you're going to have a water seam, like I'm going to have here, and keep you a nice paintbrush nearby, brush away any of the excess. Like that. Put the lid on here. Look back at my reference, right there. Put that, and there you have it. That's how you put the flocking on here. Now the trees, like I said, I'm going to put that on one of them on here right quick. That up out of the way. Drill a nice hole in there. Pardon the dog noise in the back. He kind of has a habit of not wanting to be quiet. Get a drop of your glue that you're going to use. Put it in there like that. Take the tree that you want. Press it down nice and firm. Now, not all trees stand up perfectly straight and tall. That's fine. Take some of our shrub flocking, our clear craft glue. Hold the tree up. And this is where these boulders come really, really in handy. You can use one of the boulders to prop up the tree. Turn it the way you'd like it. Get some of your, remember this stuff that's I put on top of the trees to make the bush part. Go around it, just like that. Give it a little bit of a stick to make sure it wants to stand up just right. There. Now, if you want to add a little bit of tall grass to it, no, paper fell over. Find what you want to use for that. For me, I like to use a piece of twine, craft twine that I can stick down in there, which I'll do later. But there you go. Placement of your flocking in your tree. It's a little bit of mess. It does get messy. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna have one big honking mess. But there you go on your placement of one of the trees. And like I said, it gets messy. So remember, take your time. Take a break. If you feel like you're getting stuck, or don't worry, it happens to everybody. You hear about writer's block. There's also a thing called a builder's block. And I don't mean Legos or anything like that. You will get started on a project and you'll get a block, which is not a terrible thing, but sometimes you want to step back and go at it again. Now I'm going to repeat this process again for each of the trees. And in the next video, we'll come back. I'll show you how I make the tall grass, and start on the water effect. I know you're thinking, what about the figure? Well, normally when you do something like this, you want to work on the figure separately. and try it out as you go along. Because if you were to put this on here unfinished just like it is, it might look good, but you want to change, like you want to make a modification. I want to make this, instead of from the red deer to kind of like a mule deer, or you can do this with elk or vehicles or even people. You want to do those and have them setting to the side before they're completed. That way when you go to put them on here, you can make the adjustments without having to worry about correcting any mistakes around them that you might have made. Because you can set it down, use your reference, and take a look and come back to it. And even before you secure it, glue it, or some people use small sticks or pins glued, drilled into the hooves, and stick it down there. And they'll do that with the vehicles as well. You can go and make those adjustments that you need. And we'll talk about the figures and all that in upcoming videos as well. But the next video will be the completion of the trees and the boulders, and the starting of even some dead sticks. But then we're going to start on the water effect, and I'm going to explain the water that you're looking at right now. Now, I use a different type of painting scheme. A lot of different people use a different type, because this is going to be like in North America creek bed like thing. It's not exactly going to be true clear. This is going to have a muddy texture. I thought I'd kind of go with like a soft mud base. So underneath, there's 3 different colors of paints, and I put it on a layer, and I didn't just put it all in one direction. This is earth tones with burnt umber, with burnt umber on top. I use all flat earth tones. Like you see here is a different tone. I wanted this to have a wetter look, so it'll accent and shine through on the water and make it look like it's really mud, which is a good thing. You want to get as close as you can. But burnt umber and raw burnt umber are the best ones for the muddy creek bottom. And then I thinned it out along the edge of the bank. And that's how you can do that. And before you put the water effect on here, you also want to put like small logs, or if you can, any kind of other water animal, fish, or even a turtle, and do that really, really good on here as you go along. But there you go. Small boulder and a tree and the flocking. This will look shiny at first, but once it dries, it won't be so shiny. And till next time, remember, if you're not getting a little bit messy in your build, you're not having as much fun as you should. But if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, share on all the social media sites. I don't mind. Take care, and I'll see you in about 5-6 days.